here, but I wanted to help finish this off with Chris and I want to help finish this off by telling you a very scary story I heard about healthcare. Anybody heard a scary story about healthcare? We've heard some pretty scary things about socialism and Nazis and all these ridiculous things that are thrown out there. But I'll tell you the scariest thing I heard about healthcare. The scariest thing I heard about healthcare would be that nothing would change.
Come on now.
The scariest thing I heard is that nothing would change, and that change that all of you voted for, that all of you have worked so hard for, the scariest thing I heard was that change would be stopped by the same people who think that they can stand up at a town hall meeting and yell misinformation and somehow dominate the public debate. Does that scare you? The good news is that we are not people who believe in nightmares. We are people who believe in big dreams that only happen if you work hard and organize. Are you willing to make this dream a reality? Now the good news is we're not alone in this. We're not alone in this. We have stood up as progressive people in this country for a long time.
That's right.
And so there are a lot of things we as individual Americans can and need to do by ourselves, and that's a wonderful part of the American dream, but we've stood together sometimes. Because we've stood together sometimes and said, we believe at times of need especially, that we are in it together. And we believe that at those times when someone is sick or if someone is hurt, that we will stand up and bring them along. And that is about capacity, but it's also about common sense. We know that if someone goes to an emergency room with a chronic disease that could have been treated earlier, it's going to cost us an enormous amount of money. And we will have that challenge. And it's about not caring for that person until then. It's more about the fact that it's unbelievably expensive for us to do nothing. And it is unbelievably expensive in our wallets, and it is unbelievably expensive in the moral fabric of what we are as a people who love quality in our healthcare. Now you've heard our phenomenal congresspeople, and Aaron Murphy, who does such great work at the legislature, and these amazing representatives of labor. We need health care now, and we're not all going to agree on all the details. I happen to be passionate about having a public option, and we need to do that. But there is going to be a rich debate that's going to go on, and it's going to be tough over these next few weeks. It's not going to be easy. It's not going to be simple. We have to pay attention, and we're going to have to work hard. But I want you to remember something. 1 year ago, we were celebrating the fact that Barack Obama was getting the nomination as President of the United States. How many people remember those days way back when people said Barack Obama could never get elected President of the United States? Anybody remember that? Well, how many of you people voted for Barack Obama for President? That's a wonderful thing. Did anybody believe that winning a caucus or winning a primary or winning a nomination or even winning an election was the end of change? That is the beginning of making change work. Are you ready to keep working for change? That's what we need to do right now. I wish we could have confetti come down from the skies and give a nomination to somebody. I wish a bunch of us could go to Washington or turn on the TV and see he and Michelle, that great family, walk down the aisle and take an oath of office, and magically everything would change. Well, if change was easy, it would have happened by now, ladies and gentlemen. We've got work to do. And what that means is to say that right now we're doing this rally, but I'm telling you right now, all around the country, there are other rallies. There are about 100 people gathered out in Washington right now, and they're having a rally, but they're dressed real nice, they're eating a nice lunch, and they're dressed up because they're lobbying to keep change from happening. They're having a good time today, all right? But every single moment, every moment you believe that someone who resists change is out there organizing. We've got to do what we did to get Barack elected president, to get these great Congress people elected, to get Aaron and all those legislators elected. We've got to work. So I've got to ask you a question as I finish here today. when they are having that lobbyist lunch in Washington to thank each other for stopping change, are you willing to knock on 15 more doors than they could ever knock on with their own hands? Are you there for change? Yeah. When you turn on the news or a cable show or get a weird email from some ridiculous idea that has nothing to do with reality, are you willing to get up off the couch and get to your own computer, knock on your own neighbor's door, talk to your own friends, go to your church or your synagogue or anywhere you can find people and get real change? I've been out there with you. I know what you're made of. We're ready to do this. So I'm telling you, talk to a friend, talk to a neighbor, get it done. But a few years from now, people are going to say what really brought change to America. And you bet it started with Barack Obama getting elected president. And you bet it included him coming in and preventing us from a Great Depression and beginning to get this economy moving again. But they're going to talk about this. And they're going to look at you, and they're going to ask, were you there when we were on the brink of change and needed to push that rock one more piece over the hill? Are you there for change? And are we going to get this done?